My name is Sophia Gregg, and I am here with
Katie Osborne.
And she is a wedding planner in Middle Tennessee. Will you talk a little bit first about your business and just what it is?
So the business is called Katie Osborne Wedding and Event Coordination. We do mostly month out, getting timelines together, coordinating with vendors. We do all of the decorating, all of the cleanup, just making sure that people feel super stress-free on their wedding day. We also do some partial planning, helping connect them with vendors, getting ideas down for how they want to decorate. Our whole value and goal is to make sure that people feel like this process is not stressful and that their family can be a part, their friends can be a part, and not have to worry about all of the little details. So we take care of that.
Amazing. And what made you interested in this job in particular? Maybe give what you used to do.
Yeah,
what
so
happened?
I was a teacher for 12 years. I was serving at church, doing some coordinating of the services there, and just really found a passion when friends were getting married, helping them plan their event, make it happen. The execution part is my bread and butter, I guess, just making sure that people are on time where they're supposed to be, and I think teaching kind of helped transition that. And then with COVID and the way that teaching changed, I felt pulled into making this a full-time business and growing it some more, and had some fabulous people come along the way. So I guess the interest I've always loved weddings, but the interest just came in the structure aspect, just helping people make sure that they had a plan and a purpose, and that they get to enjoy everything.
Awesome. So this being your own business, did you face any struggles in the business aspect of it?
Yeah.
At the start or even now? What did that look like behind the scenes?
It is always hard when you're starting out, just getting the business that you need, getting your name out there. Taxes are crazy. So just the admin part of it is not something I'm used to. So getting the LLC together, getting website developed, and emails together, and just kind of the stuff that I wasn't as experienced in together. And then just getting people to trust me to start, because the biggest thing in this is having trust, your clients trusting you, and getting people to buy into, well, she can do this. They ask, how many weddings have you done? What's your experience? And I was being very honest with them that I didn't have a ton, and just getting a few people to say yes helped get in the door. So I think that was the struggle, is just the buy-in, people buying into it, and then setting up the legal part of the business.
Definitely. So what were some of, in addition to that, main business tactics that you put into motion?
So I started by joining networking groups and just going to meet people, getting tours at venues, meeting people in restaurants, just kind of getting my name out there. I did some marketing through Wedding Wire, different places where I knew a lot of people would go to find the name, to start out, just to get in with people, because the more that someone shares your name, the more you're going to get the business. So those were the big things. I did wedding shows. I went to the Opry Lane Hotel and the booths and things like that, and just talked to people.
Yeah. Awesome. That was another one of my questions, was how does networking affect and how major that is?
Absolutely huge. My business would not be where it is without the networking, because it got me tours at venues that then started sharing my name, and they start giving me more and more clients. So that was literally the biggest thing for me, was meeting people and going to where they worked and just chatting.
Awesome. Okay, now going into your packages, what do those look like? How did you determine what goes where, pricing, everything to do with packages?
So when I started, I told people, it depends on the amount of people you have and if it's in 2 locations, and I was charging next to nothing, just because it was my heart. I just wanted to help people. I wasn't planning on leaving teaching. It was a side gig, that kind of thing. But I researched some other coordinators in the area, what venues were requiring from coordinators, and what made sense to me from the few weddings that I had worked. So I started with just a day of package and quickly got into some of them and realized, okay, well, let me try day of and month of, 3 weeks out, 6 weeks out, and hated it. I wanted to have a better relationship with my clients, so I just combined what most venues ask for with the coordination. A lot of them require at least a day of, is what people will say to you, but I need the information ahead of time. So I just do event coordination, and we step in 6 weeks out, and we will meet at the venue and talk through all of their setup. We will meet for coffee or drinks and do the timeline. And then I reach out to all the vendors and confirm that they know I'm there, their timing, and then we're there. I do unlimited hours on the wedding day because it can vary so much, and we come in very first, we're last to leave. We do all of their setup, all of their cleanup, making sure they're where they're supposed to be, just making the bride and groom feel special. So that just kind of, the creation of it started with research, but then also hands-on events, just making it what made sense for this business and myself and the assistants, and what we were doing on the wedding day that made sense, and also what venues were asking for. And then the partial planning came as I started having a little more free time and wanted a more hands-on. So that one's just unlimited in person. I will go with them to pick the decor out, to pick the food, to pick the desserts and flowers, and they get a little bit more. It's for brides that want a hand in it, but also need the guidance. So those are our sweet spots. So and the pricing was determined. You asked that part too. The pricing was determined now based on my costs for the business and taxes, and what we felt like the value was for clients. We don't want to be the highest end and the most expensive, but we also know what our package is worth and what we are going to put in it. So that, coupled with the times and what it costs to run the business, and for me to pay my assistants something that's worth it for them, is where the pricing came from.
And I know we've talked about before the add-ons, little add-ons. What are those entail?
So we're just starting a few of those. A lot of people love candles, and they will forget little things on the day of. So I've started just collecting things from brides. So I have, pillar candles, floating candles, which are fun to keep up, to clean and to replace and all of that. And then I have cake cutting sets and card boxes, and just the things that are last minute, that what are you going to do with it after? So we have just a small fee for people to use what we have, as well as, if you have a florist that does stuff off-site, but we need to attach it, we'll do a small fee to attach your florals or to help with some cleanup. We just want to have something for people to go to, instead of having to buy it all and then get rid of it after the fact.
That's awesome. Okay, we talked about that. So wedding day, you kind of talked about everything you do in that, but what does the day-to-day look like, your week look like?
Some weeks are different than others, but most of the time Mondays are off days because of weekend events. Tuesdays we start with catching up with emails, phone calls with clients, venue visits, timeline meetings, coffee meetings, talking to vendors. Sometimes there's networking events. There's just a lot of admin that'll happen. It tends to work out that Tuesdays are more emails, Wednesdays and Thursdays are more out in the community and meeting with people. But it's just dependent on what's needed, but lots and lots of emailing.
Lots of talking.
Lots of talking, yes, lots of talking. I forgot to add with the extra packages too. We can add on, I try to customize, so the brides in between our packages need a little more help, but not all. We just have $100, you can add a meeting and we can chat.
Everything's customizable.
Yes.
When you are planning someone's wedding or coordinating or day of or whatever, what are your top priorities?
Top priority is no stress for the bride and her family. Making sure that they are enjoying themselves with their family and friends and soaking up the moment. Then it's making sure that the room looks the way that they want it to look. And then making sure that the other vendors can do their jobs well. I feel like our role as a coordinator or planner is to make sure everybody else can do what they're supposed to do well. So top priority is that bride and groom are happy, their family's happy, and then getting things done so that it's not on their minds.
Right. How do you handle any unexpected problems, mishaps, mistakes, anything?
They happen. We try to handle it ourselves. If it's something that warrants talking to the bride or groom, we'll try to talk to family first, but try to leave them as much out of it as possible and solve it ourselves, which is why the meetings ahead of time are important. Because we want to know, what does the bride care the most about? What does the groom care the most about? And if there's an issue come up, how can we fix it? Mostly it's just talking to whatever vendor it is with the mistake, or for us, if something's missing, sending someone out for it, and just seeing what are our options, what can we do. If it's something like it's a windy day and they have a big sign, then finding a spot right inside for that. Different things like that. But we've had a florist be an hour late, just finding a phone number, figuring out where they are. Can we adjust the timeline a little bit to make it work? I've had a caterer be late before, and we just took everything that was after dinner, did it before, and then had our dinner.
Right.
So some of them are easy like that, and we don't have to let the couple know. We just make it happen, and they won't know that anything went wrong. But if there's other major things, then we'll have to present different. Here's plan A, plan B. What do you feel is best? So.
How do you handle talking to so many people and having so many people involved? How do you handle all these different personalities with vendors, family, bride and groom? How do you handle it all?
I think my teaching experience plays into that. And I'm a people pleaser, so just remembering that this is one event for them and it's one of many for us, and they don't know and we do. So trying to be very calm, but yet here's what is going to happen, and not give them too many options for things because they can get overwhelmed. But just being calm, being an ear for them. Sometimes they call me about something that they really don't need an answer to. They just need someone to listen. That's not family. So I think that's our biggest thing, is just staying calm and cool and collected, knowing what we're doing, trusting that we're going to take care of it, and doing everything in our power to make it happen. But the teaching part comes in there with the, I feel like a therapist sometimes, but just knowing how to read somebody and say, it's going to be okay. Take a second.
Just calming.
Take a second.
What is your favorite part of your job?
That's so hard. I just love when they're happy, when they get to have the best day that they've always planned and leave just ecstatic, just happy that it happened, happy that they're married, that things went off to their knowledge without a hitch. And just the people, just getting to be a part of something special in their lives, I think is my favorite part.
That's awesome. Now, what is your least favorite? With that,
least favorite part, the people that don't handle themselves well at an event because they partake in too much of the fun stuff, and they just don't know what I'm doing there. They don't know my role and what I've played, and some of them can be very rude. So sometimes guest behavior. I would say that's my least favorite thing, is just the unknowns for people that don't know who I am and what I'm doing. And the admin stuff, emails and driving everywhere and back and forth. That's not the most glamorous part.
Right. What is your biggest tip you would give someone who is planning a wedding themselves?
To think about their priorities first. Like when they think about their wedding day, how do they want to feel? And is there something in particular that's the most important? And also to think about their budget, because right now we have so many people looking at Instagram and TikTok and influencers, and unfortunately the things that you see are not budget friendly. So we think that you can have all of this stuff, but it's in reality just not okay with the budget. So knowing your budget and your restraints on that, so that you're not dreaming and trying bigger than your wallet will allow. But also just thinking about that day. This is, yes, it's a very important day and it's a lot of fun, but you're getting married and it's more about the marriage than it is the wedding. So we want to have a gorgeous day, but let's think about, does the food for everybody matter the most to you, or does the atmosphere and the environment and what you want it to feel like on your wedding day matter more? So just keeping those priorities in check along with budget, I think, is the most important thing when planning the wedding. And also making sure that you get along with your vendors. You're working very closely with a few, the planner, the photographers. You want to be the most comfortable with them. So sitting down and getting to know them, I think, is a huge deal, and knowing that it goes both ways. The planner needs to feel comfortable with the client, as well as the client needs to feel comfortable there. So just picking people that make you feel at peace, or make you feel like, yes, they've got it and I can trust them with my vision.
On the other side, what is a tip you would give someone who is either becoming a planner, already is? What is your biggest tip?
Just go get in there, help. Like, ask wedding planners if you can assist. Go to weddings as a guest and just observe as much as you can. I feel like you can study it all day long, but hands-on experience is the best. So just being able to jump in and see all aspects. So not only like a wedding day, but go shadow somebody during their, like, a busy day where they're going to meetings, and see how they interact with people, and different people too, because we're all going to do it slightly different. So I think just trying to get the hands-on experience, and really deciding, it's a big commitment. It's taking away weekends, it's taking away family time, deciding, is this what I want to do, and making sure you have a passion and a love for it on top of everything. And then deciding, do you want to then own the company as well, or do you want deciding if you want to own the company as well and do it yourself and make it something that you want, or do you have someone that you loved shadowing and loved working with and letting them do the admin stuff, and you just get to plan and get to be with people.
Right. In addition to all that, the hands-on, I am in a tourism and hospitality program. Do you think this would set me up for success in the industry, or?
Absolutely. I think, especially coming from a teacher background, learning is always great. And I think, there are definitely things that you can learn in the classroom that will be helpful. The language, the way things typically run, they're gonna be able to stay on top of trends and kind of talk to you about more of the background that you wouldn't see on a normal wedding day. So I feel like I was just talking to a planner the other day. We are still learning. We'll still take classes and learn from other people. So I think there's multiple ways to do it. Hands-on is definitely the best, jumping right in, but also learning from any side of it, anywhere that you can, so that you're pretty well-rounded and know, because there's not just weddings. There's corporate events, there's bridal showers, baby showers, different sizes of things. So learning the lingo too is helpful.
Right. Awesome. Well, I think, I have one more, and then I think that's it. You've talked a lot about what everything looks like and entails. What are the top skills you think a person needs to be good at this job?
Organization. Definitely need to be organized, able to talk to people, be personable, and honestly a heart and passion for it. There's staying calm, being able to chat in difficult situations, well, understanding people, empathy, but definitely being organized and keeping things on track is the biggest thing with the wedding day.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's everything. Thank you
Awesome.
so
You're
much
welcome.
for letting me interview you. This is the amazing Katie.